If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game, like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The NFL world is buzzing with what might be one of the most surprising and potentially landscape-shifting moves in recent memory. Reports have surfaced, unconfirmed but coming from multiple credible insiders, that none other than Aaron Donald, the legendary defensive tackle, could be making a shocking return from retirement to join the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you heard that right. While nothing has been officially announced, whispers are growing louder, and there's a thick cloud of speculation surrounding this story. Fans, analysts, and former players alike are scratching their heads, jaws dropped at the idea of Donald suiting up not for the Rams, but for the Dawg Pound. Considering Donald's dominance over the past decade, this rumored deal, if true, could catapult the Browns from playoff hopefuls to instant Super Bowl contenders. Just the thought of Donald lining up alongside Myles Garrett has sent shivers down the spines of offensive coordinators across the league. Though some are brushing this off as just another crazy offseason rumor, others insist that where there's smoke, there's fire. Could we be on the brink of one of the most epic team-ups in NFL defensive history? Let's break it all down and explore the possibilities behind this jaw-dropping rumor. To understand the magnitude of this potential move, you have to consider who Aaron Donald is and what he's meant to the NFL since entering the league in 2014, a three-time Defensive Player of the Year Super Bowl champion and surefire first ballot. Hall of Famer Donald has terrorized quarterbacks for years with his unmatched explosiveness, strength, and technique. He redefined the role of a defensive tackle, regularly drawing double or even triple teams and still managing to disrupt offenses. His impact goes beyond statistics. He shifts entire game plans. When Donald announced his retirement, it was seen as the end of an era, the close of a chapter for the Rams and the league itself. But if these rumors about a comeback with the Browns prove true, it would mark a dramatic twist in a career that seems sealed in legacy. It would also suggest that Donald believes the Browns offer something that reignites his competitive fire. Whether it's their rising roster, elite defense, or simply unfinished business in his football journey, something significant must have drawn his interest. And if you're a Browns fan, you're probably pinching yourself wondering if this dream pairing might actually happen. What makes this potential move even more fascinating is the context surrounding the Cleveland Browns themselves. This is a franchise that has long been seen as the NFL's perennial underdog. A team with die-hard fans but few postseason victories to celebrate. However, in recent years, things have started to shift. Under head coach Kevin Stefanski, and with a defense led by the monstrous Myles Garrett, the Browns have become a legitimate threat in the AFC. Last season, they boasted one of the league's top defenses, and adding a presence like Aaron Donald could push them into truly elite territory. Imagine facing a pass rush anchored by Garrett on one side and Donald collapsing the pocket up the middle. It's not just a fantasy. It's a nightmare for opposing offenses. Donald's rumored interest in Cleveland could be rooted in the team's culture shift, its commitment to winning, and perhaps even personal relationships behind the scenes. Could there be a connection with someone on the coaching staff or front office? Did Myles Garrett recruit him with a compelling pitch? All we know is that where the Browns were once overlooked, they are now becoming a destination. Another critical layer to this story is Donald's abrupt retirement decision, which surprised many across the NFL. When he stepped away, it was clear he had nothing left to prove. He had the accolades, the respect, the championship ring. But elite athletes like Donald don't just switch off their competitive spirit. Some insiders believe he may have stepped away not because he was done with football, but because he was done with the Rams. The franchise has undergone serious roster turnover, leaning into a rebuild that might not align with Donald's hunger for another title. Enter the Browns, a team on the rise with a ferocious defense and real postseason potential. Perhaps the idea of mentoring younger talent, reuniting with key figures, or just being a part of a team that's trending up has reignited the fire. If true, this could be less of a comeback and more of a carefully planned next chapter. Donald has always been strategic with his decisions, and this rumored move wouldn't be impulsive, it would be calculated. If Cleveland offers him the environment to chase one more ring, why wouldn't he consider it enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Financials also play a significant role in the speculation. The Browns have made some savvy cap moves, recently restructuring contracts and freeing up space that at the time seemed routine. But in hindsight, could they have been clearing the path? For a blockbuster signing, Donald wouldn't come cheap. Even post-retirement, his value is immense. He's not a depth piece, he's a centerpiece. If Cleveland is in talks to lure him out of retirement, the front office must be ready to back that up with a substantial financial package. That includes guaranteed money incentives tied to postseason success and perhaps even leadership roles beyond the field. One insider suggested that Donald could be offered a role as a future defensive line coach or team ambassador, further sweetening the deal. The Browns know what he brings not just to the field, but to the locker room, the fan base, and the national spotlight. This rumored pursuit might seem like a stretch, but Cleveland's recent moves suggest otherwise. And if the financials align with Donald's worth, don't be shocked if this rumor solidifies into reality. From a strategic standpoint, Donald joining the Browns would immediately alter how teams prepare for Cleveland each week. Defensive coordinators would salivate at the idea of crafting schemes with both Donald and Garrett wreaking havoc. Offenses, meanwhile, would be forced to commit extra resources to blocking, limiting their ability to exploit downfield opportunities. Donald is not just a pass rusher, he's a run stuffer, a leader, and a tone setter. The domino effect of his presence on the Browns line could elevate the play of everyone around him. Young players like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and even Garrett himself could benefit from Donald's leadership and experience. Imagine the pressure and confusion he could cause for quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes, all of whom face the Browns regularly. This move would not just improve Cleveland's roster, it could shake up the entire AFC playoff picture. And if you're in the NFC, you might be breathing a small sigh of relief knowing Donald is no longer lurking there, only to realize your Super Bowl path might now go through Cleveland. There's also a cultural impact to consider. Donald joining, the Browns would send a powerful message to players around the league. Cleveland is for real. For years, it's been a franchise associated with instability, turnover, and disappointment. But landing a player of Donald's caliber, even on a short-term basis, signals that those days are over. It's a move that changes perception both inside and outside the building. It could make future free agents more open to joining the Browns, knowing they're serious about contending. For fans, it would be the ultimate morale boost. Imagine opening day in Cleveland with Donald leading the charge out of the tunnel, the crowd erupting, the stadium buzzing with belief. These are the moments franchises build around. Whether or not this rumor turns out to be true, the fact that it's even being discussed shows how far Cleveland has come. They're no longer begging for respect, they're earning it one move at a time. And if Donald puts on that orange and brown jersey, it might mark the beginning of something truly special in Northeast Ohio. Critics will of course raise doubts. They'll point to Donald's age, his time away from the game, and the risks involved in bringing back a retired player. Those are fair concerns, but Aaron Donald is not your average player. Even at less than 100%, his presence can elevate a team. Think about the impact veterans like Von Miller, Dwight Freeney, or even Terrell Suggs had in the twilight of their careers. Donald brings not only skill, but also an unmatched work ethic. He's the kind of professional that young players idolize and veterans respect. If he's agreed, again hypothetically, to return, it means he's ready. No one expects him to play every snap or post 20 sacks. But his contribution could be measured in leadership disruption and playoff impact. Sometimes championships are won not by regular season statistics, but by game-changing moments in January. That's what Donald brings. The Browns wouldn't be making this move blindly. They'd be making it with a plan, one that maximizes his strengths and keeps him fresh for when it matters most. And if they pull it off, the reward could outweigh every risk. So where does this leave us now? As of this moment, everything remains speculative. Whispers behind closed doors, cryptic tweets from players, and suspicious cap moves by Cleveland's front office. But that's how many major NFL stories begin. The offseason is where possibilities brew, where dreams are negotiated into reality. Donald to the Browns might seem far-fetched to some, but to others it's the next logical chapter in a sport full of plot twists. Keep your eyes on Cleveland, keep your ears open for updates, and don't be surprised if this rumor gains momentum in the days ahead. The NFL thrives on drama, and his storyline has all the ingredients: a superstar's return, a rising contender, and the tantalizing idea of unfinished business. Whether this turns into a signed contract or fades into off-season legend, it's already reshaped how we view the Browns, and perhaps how we view Donald's legacy. For now, all we can do is watch, wait and wonder, is the Dawg Pound about to welcome its most ferocious dog yet, and let's not ignore the psychological impact this could have on the rest of the league. If you're an AFC team, particularly in the North, you're already dreading your matchups with Cleveland. Adding Aaron Donald to the mix, that's the stuff of nightmares. Coaches will be forced to redesign entire offensive game plans. Quarterbacks will count seconds in the pocket with growing fear. Offensive linemen will lose sleep trying to figure out how to stop a force of nature who's now re-energized and possibly playing with a massive chip on his shoulder. Donald's return in this context could also serve as a motivational spark for the Browns locker room. It tells players that the front office is all in, that they're not just talking about a championship, they're doing everything possible to chase it. And for Donald, joining a team with this level of hunger could be exactly what fuels him for one last ride. This isn't just a personnel move, it's a psychological warfare tactic. It's a way to shift momentum before a single snap is played. And if you're Cleveland, that mental edge could be worth its weight in gold. Perhaps the most poetic element in all this is how legacy could come full circle. Donald has nothing left to prove, but greatness often chases something deeper than trophies. It chases immortality. By joining the Browns and leading them to heights they haven't reached in decades, Donald could cement his name not just as a great player, but as a transformational figure. Think of the greats who made unexpected moves late in their careers. Tom Brady in Tampa, Peyton Manning in Denver. They didn't just win, they redefined their legacy. Donald has that same chance now. If this deal happens, it could be remembered as the moment that turned Cleveland from a passionate underdog into a dominant force. A city desperate for football glory, finally getting his hero. And for Donald, it wouldn't be about the money or the stats. It would be about impact, legacy, and rewriting history in a jersey no one ever expected him to wear. So stay tuned. This story is just getting started, and if the rumors are true, we're about to witness one of the most epic chapters in NFL history unfold before our eyes. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!